We see some of these hotspots that are right in the region of a protostar that's forming.
NASA has made a groundbreaking discovery, stirring conversation among scientists and religious figures alike. New evidence has emerged regarding the universe's structure and its beginnings, prompting a re-evaluation of long-standing beliefs about cosmic creation. So what does this all mean? How will this reshape our understanding of the universe? And how does it affect the relationship between science and faith? Join us as we explore NASA's terrifying new discovery that shocks many religious people. Number 12. Hubble Space Telescope Journey. The Hubble Space Telescope is one of the most helpful tools used by astronomers in observation since it was launched on April 24, 1990 on the Space Shuttle Discovery. Hubble has revolutionized the perception of the universe with its beautiful pictures. However, the telescope was only sometimes trouble-free during its voyage. However, shortly after this mission, engineers at NASA realized a severe problem with the primary mirror of the Hubble telescope. This defect resulted in blurry, unfocused images, a major setback for the mission. Despite this initial problem, Hubble continued to capture images of nearby planets and distant galaxies, providing valuable data to astronomers. The real turning point came in December 1993 when NASA sent a team of space mechanics on a repair mission. They provided Hubble with new instruments and then had to alter the nature of the mirror to fix the problem. This intervention was successful, and the quality of images received improved significantly. The improved Hubble could showcase the universe in ways that were not possible earlier. It enabled scientists to look deep into the different regions of the universe and collect light coming from distant galaxies, giving a new understanding of the existence of space. The best-known picture taken by Hubble is the Pillars of Creation, a beautiful shot of starbirth territories in the Eagle Nebula. This image and thousands of others have pushed scientific knowledge forward and inspired the public with the beauty of the universe. The telescope's operational endurance. It was designed for a 15-year mission, though to this date Hubble has been in operation for over 30 years. With missions and upgrades performed frequently, the telescope has remained at the forefront of astronomical studies. Hubble initiated a series of greater space telescopes, including the James Webb Space Telescope, which is even more futuristic than the Hubble telescope. Hubble has made over 1.5 million observations of the universe throughout its mission. It has been employed in a couple of thousands of papers and thus ranks as one of the most productive scientific apparatuses ever constructed, from studying nearby planets in our solar system to observing galaxies billions of years away. Hubble has genuinely transformed our view of the cosmos. Number 11. The Hand of God, Celestial Formation. In the vast expanse of space, astronomers have discovered a celestial formation that bears a striking resemblance to a human hand. This cosmic structure, dubbed the Hand of God, offers a fascinating glimpse into the dramatic aftermath of a star's death. The image was cast and captured by NASA's Nuclear Spectroscopic Array Telescope, which specializes in detecting high-energy X-rays. This unique perspective allows scientists to observe phenomena that are invisible to optical telescopes. The Hand of God is a pulsar-wind nebula formed by the remnants of a massive star that exploded in a supernova. At the center of this formation lies a dense, rapidly spinning core called a pulsar. This pulsar, known as PSR B150-0958, rotates at an astonishing rate of 7 times per second. As the pulsar spins, it generates a mighty wind of particles. These particles interact with the surrounding magnetic fields, creating the distinct hand-like shape we observe. The energy involved in this process is immense, producing X-rays that NEWA can detect. The structure's appearance as a psychological phenomenon where humans tend to see familiar patterns in random shapes. While it may look like a hand, it's important to remember that this is a natural formation shaped by intense cosmic forces. The fingers of the hand are composed of high-energy particles being ejected from the pulsar. The palm area is where these particles collide with gas in the nebula, causing it to heat up and glow in X-ray light. Interestingly, the Chandra X-ray Observatory had previously observed the same structure at lower energy levels. The combination of data from both NEWA and Chandra provides a more complete picture of the complex processes at work in this nebula. Near the fingertips of the hand is a red cloud known as RCW89. This cloud is believed to be heated by the pulsar winds, causing it to emit a soft X-ray glow. The energies in this region range from 7 to 25 kV, and new star observations range from 0.5 to 2 kYV and Chandras. Studying such formations helps scientists understand the life cycles of stars and the processes that occur after a supernova. It provides insights into how pulsars interact with their surroundings and distribute energy and matter into space. As our ability to observe the universe in different wavelengths improves, we can expect to uncover more fascinating formations, each offering new clues about the physical processes that shape our cosmos. The Hand of God. Celestial formation isn't surprising. We're about to explore Saturn's largest moon, Titan, which has interesting lakes and seas on its surface. Could this discovery change how we view the universe? Number 10. Mars' ancient watery past. Mars, often called the Red Planet, has long fascinated scientists and space enthusiasts. Recent studies have revealed compelling evidence that Mars once had a much more hospitable environment capable of supporting life. The planet's southern highlands, particularly near the Hellas Basin and around Hagen's crater, display intricate networks of valleys. These formations strongly suggest flowing water in Mars's distant past, approximately 3.3 to 4 billion years ago. The valley systems resemble river networks on Earth, such as the Yongshango River, indicating a similar formation process. Geological evidence points to water flow from north to south, carving out impressive valleys up to 2 kilometers wide and 200 meters deep. Over time, these valleys have eroded, but their remnants still tell the story of Mars' watery history. The scale and distribution of these features suggest that Mars once had a much thicker atmosphere capable of maintaining liquid water on its surface for extended periods. The presence of water is crucial for life as we know it, making these findings particularly exciting for astrobiologists. While the current Martian surface is barren, with its thin atmosphere and extreme cold, the planet's past conditions may have been conducive to microbial life. Various sources likely contributed to Mars's ancient water systems. Besides possible rainfall and rivers, scientists speculate that groundwater and melting glaciers may have played significant roles in shaping the Martian landscape. In an attempt to discover whether Mars ever harbored, or perhaps still harbors, life, space agencies have missions on the drawing board that are ambitious by any standard. The ExoMars mission, a joint effort between the European Space Agency and Roscosmos, will send a rover to Mars to search for evidence of life in the subsurface. This mission will be accompanied by the ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter, which will search the Martian atmosphere from orbit. These missions are part of an overall strategy to map Mars in detail. Among the possibilities in the future is the return of Martian samples to Earth for study, which is a major step forward in learning about the history of the planet and its possible habitability. The search for Mars's watery past is not merely about one planet, it is about deep insights into planetary evolution, about what conditions allow life to come and thrive. Comparing the history of Mars and Earth gives scientists a better chance to piece together what makes a planet habitable and how that habitability can change and evolve. What do you think about Mars's ancient watery past and its role in habitability? Number 9. Titan Lakes. Saturn's largest moon, Titan, is a world almost like Earth, with its bodies of liquid on the surface. In 2007, NASA's Cassini spacecraft clued us into this wild fact. But here's the twist. Titan has lakes and seas of liquid methane and ethane instead of water because it's so cold. Now, would these lakes be a simple mix of methane and ethane? But no, Titan likes to keep things interesting. The northern hemisphere, dotted with deep lakes on hills and mesas, mostly features lakes filled almost entirely with methane, a sharp contrast to the mixed methane-ethane seas found elsewhere. But why is there a difference, especially compared to the southern hemispheres of Ontario Lacus? It's a mystery, with scientists scratching their heads trying to piece together Titan's hydrological story. The eastern part of the northern hemisphere is swimming in the largest seas, while the western side boasts these small lakes perched at the top mesas, some plunging over 300 feet deep. These lakes could have formed from the chemical dissolution and collapse of the surrounding ice and organic bedrock, like Earth's karst lakes, but with a Titan twist using entirely different materials. Seeing Earth's geological processes play out in an alien environment is like seeing Earth's geological processes play out. And here's another cool part. Cassini spotted some transient lakes with seasonal liquid level changes. Think of them as sometimes not likely due to evaporation or seeping into the subsurface. This finding hints at a complete methane-ethane cycle on Titan mirroring Earth's water cycle, but with a chilly twist where water exists as rock-hard ice. What if there's even microscopic life in those methane-ethane lakes adapted to Titan's freezing harsh conditions, just as life on Earth thrives in water. It's a mind-boggling idea, but it's still speculative but fascinating. Number 8. The Pillars of Creation. Hubble captures one of the most striking and sensational features that make up the bridge in what is referred to as the Eagle Nebula, or M16. These massive pillars of interstellar dust and hydrogen have intrigued astronomers and lesser documented enthusiasts since. Measuring about 4 to 5 light-years long, these columns are a small section of the Eagle Nebula, about 70 by 55 light-years in size. It was found in 1745 by Swiss astronomer Jean-Philippe Loy de Chizeau, and it is located about 7,000 light-years away in the Serpens constellation. More than simply a central structure to bolster one's imagination, the Pillars of Creation are a dynamic infant star formation. Some stars are still born in these sky regions, obscured by thick clouds of gas and dust. Erosion in these pillars gives astronomers a proper understanding of the formation and evolution of stars and galaxies. The colors we can see in Hubble's picture of the pillars are not for show. They mean something significant for astronomers. The bright blue areas suggest the presence of oxygen, and the rich reds stand for sulfur. The green colors are made of nitrogen and hydrogen equally. These color variations assist astronomers in finding the chemical makeup and the physical state within the nebula. The fact that the pillars are active makes them one of the most intriguing parts of the design. They are constantly formed and worn away by the powerful ultraviolet radiation of nearby young stars. This process is called photoevaporation and slowly carves the pillar, potentially exposing the newly born stars. The photoevaporation process shapes the pillars over time and could result in the uncovering of the emerging stars within them. The recent Hubble picture of the pillars from 2014 offers the most vivid perspective we have ever had of this cosmic formation. This picture's enhanced intricacy and sharpness empower researchers to investigate the details within the pillars, gain a fresh understanding of how stars form and the interplay of starlight with matter in space. Viewing the Pillars of Creation from Earth effectively requires circumstances and tools to be correctly set up and ready for observation. When looking at the Eagle Nebula from our planet, we can see it using a telescope during July when viewing conditions are optimal. However, to observe the pillars themselves, it is necessary to use more advanced telescopes. The exploration of the Pillars of Creation goes beyond comprehending this specific formation. It plays a role in gathering information and studying star formation processes across the vast expanse of our universe. By examining the formation and interactions of stars within the pillars of space clouds, astronomers can gain insights into phenomena taking place in off-galaxies. With advancements in our ability to observe the universe better with time, landmarks such as the Pillars of Creation will uncover mysteries about the events that influence our universe. These structures symbolize the cycle of stars born and dying in space, providing insight into our galaxy's constantly evolving character. What do you think about the Pillars of Creation, especially since they're active? Number 7. Curiosity rover. NASA's Curiosity rover, launched in 2011 to land on Mars's Gales crater in 2012, has led the way in investigating Martian chemical and mineral composition. The rover has been looking at this part of Mars's geology and environmental history. Because Gale crater formed roughly 3.5 billion years ago, it is a time capsule offering insight into the early history of Mars and essential information regarding what was once an aquatic environment on this nearly dead planet. Curiosity's mission is to determine whether Gale crater may have ever offered habitats that were friendly for microbial life. Mars most likely had a thicker atmosphere and lots of liquid water, conditions which allowed life to exist as the Gale crater formed. Curiosity, instead of seeking direct signs of extinct or extant life on Mars, which is a highly challenging goal if it exists at all, as one clear mandate in its selection. The other core objective was to assess whether specific states for which biological materials that could have been used as organic manufactured by living organisms. During its first year on Mars, in Gale crater's Yellowknife Bay, Curiosity had a big win thanks to Curiosity. The place appeared to be an ancient lakebed and held essential clues about the lost water-rich history of Mars. The chemical analyses also showed the lake is not highly acidic, as many larger lakes in Antarctica remain all year, nor does it have exceptionally high salt concentrations. Further analysis showed they had carbon, nitrogen, sulfur, and phosphorus, elements essential to life as we know it. In addition, the rover found evidence of potential energy sources supporting microbial metabolism. The findings also have implications for understanding planetary habitability beyond Mars. The mission helps scientists search for habitable environments on other planets throughout the solar system and beyond. In addition, the rover has gathered historical data about Mars's current environment related to radiation levels measured at the surface and information about air chemistry and weather. This information is essential to assess the potential challenges of future human explorers on Mars. Number 6. Messier 87. M87 is a massive old galaxy known as an elliptical galaxy. M87 is a giant elliptical galaxy that lies some 54 million light-years distant in the constellation Virgo, making it one of the most prominent members of the cluster known as the same. M87 is particularly notable for its enormous size and other exceptional characteristics. With a few trillion stars, M87 is one of the biggest galaxies in our local universe. By comparison, our Milky Way contains just a couple hundred billion. M87 harbors a supermassive black hole immortalized in 2019 when it became the first to be imaged, casting its shadow on infalling tendrils of bright plasma by the Event Horizon Telescope. This black hole is estimated to have a mass of about 6.5 billion times that of our Sun, making it one of the universe's most massive known black holes. An additional trait of M87 is its high number of globular clusters, far exceeding that of any other nearby galaxy. About 150 ancient spherical clumps surround the Milky Way, but M87 dwarfs us all with a whopping 15,000 globular clusters. M87 also has a relativistic plasma jet originating from the galaxy's core. This light-year-long jet, visible in various wavelengths of light from X-ray to radio, different ranges like blue and red, is filled by the energy released as matter swallows into this supermassive black hole. In these images, jets appear blue, and this is due to the synchrotron radiation created from electrons moving at close to the speed of light. Its position at the heart of the Virgo cluster of galaxies has also helped it evolve, and astronomers think M87 amassed additional heft over eons from gobbling up smaller galaxies. Discovered in 1781 by Charles Messier, M87 remains under intense scrutiny. With an apparent magnitude of 9.6, it can be observed with small telescopes under suitable conditions, especially in late May, while the comet is brighter and higher above the horizon. The elliptical shape of the galaxy itself, even more dramatically illuminated in infrared light, something else our eyes are evil at seeing, is a terrific jet blasting out from its core, which is splayed across a dark sky. M87 is getting a lot of attention, but we're about to reveal Kepler 186f, a planet that might be even better for life than Earth. Could this be our next home? Number 5. Kepler 186f. NASA discovered a planet even better for life than Earth. Using NASA's Kepler Space Telescope, astronomers stumbled upon Kepler 186f, the first Earth-sized planet in its star's habitable zone. What's the big deal? This zone was right for liquid water to exist, which is crucial for life as we know it. Until then, the planets we had found in this cozy stellar neighborhood were all at least 40% bigger than our home planet. But Kepler 186f was different. It was almost a twin to Earth in size, which made it a game changer in our search for Earth-like worlds. Paul Hertz of NASA's Division of Astrophysics was already thinking ahead. He was looking forward to future missions such as the Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite and the James Webb Space Telescope, which would search for rocky exoplanets and spy on their atmospheres. Although we didn't yet know the mass and composition of Kepler 186f, odds were it had a rocky surface. Elisa Quintana, the study's lead author, was excited about what it meant to discover planets the size and character of Earth. Kepler 186f sat about 500 light-years away in the constellation Cygnus, orbiting a star half the size and mass of our Sun known as an M-dwarf, the most common type of star in our galaxy. This planet took a leisurely 13-day stroll around its star, soaking up a third of Earth's energy from the Sun. That placed it on the habitable zone's outer edge. Unlike its 4 neighboring planets that were too hot for life as we understood it, the journey didn't stop there. Future missions would zero in on finding true Earth twins and diving deep into their chemical makeup. Kepler's first mission had already opened our eyes to the possibility of Earth-sized planets around Sun-like stars, with teams like Ball Aerospace and the Space Telescope Science Institute on board. Number 4. Cosmic heartbeats. Researchers cracked the code on mysterious heartbeat-like signals from the Sun during solar flares. It's like uncovering the sun's Morse code, which could revolutionize our understanding of those wild solar storms. When the sun gets dramatic and throws a solar flare, it hurls not any old radiation but a whole cocktail. Radio waves, microwaves, ultraviolet, you name it, right into space. This show is part of coronal mass ejections, CME. Still, sometimes these flares send out what's known as quasi-periodic pulsations, QPPs, which look like an electrocardiogram, ECG, on a graph. Figuring out these pulsing signals is critical to understanding how the sun releases and scatters energy during these intense explosions. Scientists needed help with where these pulses came from for the longest time. However, on December 12, 2022, a breakthrough came through in Nature Communications. Researchers got their hands on a heartbeat signal from a medium C-class flare on July 13, 2017, and found not one, but two. The main one thumped every 10 to 20 seconds from the base of the current sheet. That's where all the action happens when magnetic field lines snap. The secondary, softer pulse, beating every 30 to 60 seconds, echoed across the sheet. A new twist to the plot. Both signals likely stem from magnetic islands popping up in the current sheet. The team dived back into old data to see if other mysterious signals also came from these magnetic islands. Number 3. The first interstellar object. In a groundbreaking development, scientists have recently unraveled the mystery behind Oumuamua, the first known interstellar visitor to our solar system. Discovered in 2017 by the Pan-STARRS 1 telescope at the University of Hawaii, this enigmatic object initially appeared to be a typical asteroid. However, as it made its approach and performed a high-speed loop around the sun, its behavior began to resemble that of a comet, leading to its reclassification. Oumuamua is anything but ordinary. Its shape is notably elongated, resembling a cosmic cigar or needle, stretching between 100 and 1,000 meters long. The object also exhibits an unusual dark red hue, which stands out against the backdrop of typical celestial bodies. These distinctive features initially baffled astronomers and led to numerous theories about its origin and nature. Some speculated it could be an alien spacecraft, given its unusual trajectory and characteristics, while others considered it a fragment of a larger, more complex object. The object's atypical speed and non-gravitational acceleration, seemingly influenced by an unexplained force, added to the intrigue and complexity of the investigation. Enter the James Webb Space Telescope, a powerful new asset in space observation. It has reignited hopes of solving the Oumuamua enigma. Number 2. Discovery of Earth-sized exoplanet. Mars's discovery of the Earth-sized exoplanet Kepler-186f is significant. The space telescope Kepler, run by the US space agency NASA, made history when it pinpointed Kepler-186f, the first Earth-sized planet discovered in its star's habitable zone. This discovery is a milestone in the hunt for habitable planets outside our solar system. Kepler-186f orbits a star named, unsurprisingly, Kepler-186, an M dwarf or red dwarf. They are the most prevalent kind of star in our galaxy, making up an estimated 70% of stars in the Milky Way. It is 500 light-years away in the constellation Cygnus. The reason that Kepler-186f is so exciting is that it lies within the habitable zone of its star. This region, often called the Goldilocks zone, is one in which conditions might be just right for a planet's surface to support liquid water, a key ingredient for life as we know it. NASA photographed, despite discovering other exoplanets within the habitable zone, Kepler-186f is the first to be Earth-sized. The planet needs just 130 days to circle its star, which shines down only about a third as intensely as the sun from Earth. That places Kepler-186f on the very edge of the habitable zone, which means that it will likely resemble Mars in the amount of energy it receives. As Earth-sized as it is, we know nothing of Kepler-186f. Little is known of its mass and composition other than that, based on its size, scientists believe it likely has a rocky crust, and the world's unknown atmosphere, if it is. None of these is irrelevant to whether a planet could be habitable. The finding of Kepler-186f is the most recent in a series of attempts to find and characterize what might be habitable worlds. It opens up the possibility of Earth-sized planets sitting in the habitable zones around other stars, which is the basis for optimism about finding other potentially habitable worlds. This finding has important implications for future space missions. The space agency's Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite and the James Webb Space Telescope should be able to add to such findings as Kepler 186f. These missions will search for additional Earth-sized exoplanets and analyze their atmospheres for biosignatures. Exoplanet research, such as Kepler 186f, also shows how varied planetary systems are in our galaxy. Researchers can learn how planets form and evolve by comparing these faraway worlds with planets in our solar system. Kepler 186f, while a promising discovery, serves as a cautionary example that simply because a planet resides in the habitable zone, it will not necessarily be able to support life. Other factors, including planetary magnetospheres, atmospheric composition, and geology, also have vital roles to play in a planet's fate. Number 1. A weird dark storm on Neptune. In 2018, the Hubble Space Telescope uncovered a remarkable phenomenon on Neptune, a colossal storm so vast it could engulf the entire Atlantic Ocean. Initially, this storm was moving southward, but in an unexpected twist, it reversed direction and began traveling north. This reversal in August 2020 was unprecedented and confounded scientists, as Hubble had been observing Neptune storms for over 30 years without encountering such a drastic change in movement. The storm, spanning an enormous 4,1600 miles, is the fourth significant dark spot observed on Neptune by Hubble since 1993. Dark spots on Neptune are massive storms that typically appear as high-pressure systems. They form in the planet's atmosphere and generally move toward the equator, where they gradually dissipate. The appearance of these storms is a rare but intriguing aspect of Neptune's weather patterns. In January 2020, the situation took another exciting turn when Hubble detected a smaller dark spot near the main storm. This smaller spot is suspected to be a fragment that broke off from the larger storm. The discovery of this fragment is particularly significant, as it could offer clues about the life cycle and disintegration processes of these massive storms, something that had not been observed in detail before. These dark storms on Neptune are relatively short-lived, lasting around 2 years before they fade away. Voyager 2, which flew by Neptune in 1989, had previously detected similar storms but dissipated before Hubble could study them in depth. From the Hand of God celestial formation and Mars' ancient watery past to the dark spots on Neptune, which NASA discovery shocked you the most?